Hello again, YouTube. Today I want to do a video of a pickle recipe that I've created. It's a Heinz genuine sour dill copycat recipe. It tastes exactly like the original that hasn't been made for years. We're in my garden, which is overgrown due to produce coming in faster than I can handle it. As you can see, we're getting towards the end of my season. The tomatoes are starting to die back. The cucumber plants are starting to struggle. But in regards to the pickles, they seem to always be on the other side of the fence. For both of my pickle recipes that I will be sharing, probably in two separate videos, I suggest fresh cucumbers from the garden, preferably pickling cukes, especially for the Heinz recipe. There's another one on the other side. If you do not have cucumbers in the garden, you could go to a farmer's market. They typically sell pickling cukes there. The only suggestion I have in that regard is to give them a little squeeze or a bend. A lot of times they're old and kind of wrinkly and soft. See, I can't bend this one at all, and that's what we're looking for. I have some small deformed cukes that we're never going to turn into a good looking pickle. I use those for hamburger chips. So I'm going to finish collecting cucumbers, and if I have enough to do a video on both recipes, I will be posting them probably tonight or tomorrow. Look at this mess of a garden. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hello, YouTube. We're back inside. We've got our pickling cukes. We're going to do the Heinz genuine sour dill copycat recipe. I'm going to show you the entire process. This here is what they look like when they're done. This one could probably use a couple more days, but for the purposes of this video, we are going to go ahead and use them. They're done when the color, and I'll show you later in this video, when the color of the pickle completely changes. In my quest to repeat the recipe of the Heinz genuine sour dill, there were no clues inside the jar. There's no seasonings inside the jar. Nothing listed on the label. The clues were in the name. Genuine sour dill. To my knowledge, you cannot make a full sour pickle with a vinegar brine. And if you do, it won't be very tasty. So, what we're doing is fermenting. These jars, these are, I call them Fido jars. Fido is probably the best name brand you can get. This is a knockoff. They sell ball jars very similar to this with the gasket at your local retail store that I imagine would work just fine. The extremely cheap ones that are meant for candles will not work. But I can't say enough good things about these jars when it comes to fermenting. You close the lid, you're done. There's no water reservoir to keep active, to keep full. I have not had a ferment fail. I don't want you to get discouraged when thinking about recreating the Heinz pickle because of the fermentation process. It's a lot easier than you may think. So we're going to go ahead and get started rinsing cucumbers and getting them into this jar. Here I have pre-measured for roughly a half-gallon jar, which if we have enough cukes to fill it, will wind up being 2 quarts after we go through the canning process 2 weeks from now. What we have is 1 tablespoon of dill seed, 1 tablespoon of allspice berries, and 1/2 teaspoon of mustard seed. So I'm going to get this started and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. I did not have enough cucumbers to fill the entire jar, but with fermentation, that's not going to be a problem. Something I didn't mention before we filled the jar is 1/4 cup of anything but table salt. Sea salt, kosher salt, pickling salt, Himalayan salt, anything that doesn't have the iodine in it. So we have the salt, we have the spices, we add water. We've got a little bit of headspace at the top. This is a fermenting weight, a glass fermenting weight. You could use anything, a small dish, a rock that you boiled and sterilized. You could use anything. So, but before I put that in, I want the salt to dissolve a little better. Give it a shake. Put the weight in, close the lid, and this is what we have. This is day 1 of a 2-week long process. 10 to 14 days, depending on temperature. If your house is 68 degrees or cooler, I would say stretch it to 13 or 14 days. If you don't run your AC quite as much and you're in the 70s, mid 70s, high 70s, then I would probably pull them around 10 days. This is what they'll look like when they're done. We're going to go ahead and strain these off. The seasonings will be discarded and just the pickles will be canned. And I'll show you that process here shortly. Okay, we're back. We have our genuine sour dills in mason jars. I typically use quarts for whole pickles, but I'm out. So the rest of the process, I put a bay leaf in each jar to help them from getting mushy. I have the brine warming, not boiling, set on simmer, and I have the water bath about to boil. So, and forgive me for the pauses and the mistakes and whatnot. I don't even know how to edit, so these videos are just raw and real. So we got our bay leaves in. There's no spices in these jars. We rinse the pickles. We're going to take from our brine, which the brine is 3 quarts of water, 1 quart of vinegar, and 3/4 cup of salt. We'll fill the jars to above the level that our pickles are in. Now this brine is this brine's already being heated up, which is going to help with setting them into a hot water bath, keeping the jars from exploding. We're going to put the lids on just finger tight. I like to go, I like to go just past where you can spin the jar, but I like to snug it a little past. The methods I use for canning my pickles are old methods that are no longer approved by the USDA, but they work. It'll be at your discretion whether you want to try to follow this recipe. I have no problems. My pickles stay shelf stable for years. This brine works perfectly. I only water bath until it comes back to a boil. I do not give them 10 or 15 minutes in there, 2 to 3 minutes at the most for a good crunchy pickle. This will taste exactly like the Heinz genuine sour dill that was discontinued 15 plus years ago. I hope that you get something from this video. I hope you enjoy the recipe, and please like and subscribe so that I can continue to make videos like this and other things. All right, our jars are in the water bath. The water bath hasn't been boiling yet. I'm going to drop them down in, put a lid on it, and as soon as the water starts to boil on high on the stove, I'm done. I'm pulling the jars. They're done. They're shelf stable, and you could start to consume them immediately or wait a year. While we're waiting for the water bath to come to a boil, I just want to show you again, this is where we start. It's best to put these somewhere room temperature that doesn't have a whole lot of sunlight. And like I said, depending on the temperature of your room, mid to upper 60s, go the full 2 weeks. Mid to upper 70s, probably closer to a week to 10 days. This is our end result. It's just missing the label. These are the replica Heinz genuine sour dill. There is no other pickle on the shelf anything like this. I hope you try it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like and subscribe so I can continue to do things like this. We will see each other again when the water bath is done.